What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bright, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Season 11, Episode 3 review, recap, breakdown, just talking about Season 11, Episode 3, so spoiler warning, obviously, for it. Hopefully you saw the episode. If you haven't, come back, check it out, then let me know your thoughts, post your comments below. But overall, Season 11, Episode 3 is another good episode, so all 3 episodes so far of The Walking Dead Season 11 have been very entertaining and very good. And I have to say, in part to Negan being part of these episodes. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, subscribe, donate, help support the PT channel any way that you can. Either way, we truly appreciate it, guys. Now, Season 11, Episode 3, Hunted. Maggie's mission team gets separated and hunted by the Reapers. Carol, Rosita, Magna, and Kelly attempt to catch horses for Alexandria. Judith, RJ, Herschel, and Gracie cope with their parents going away. Now, the Reapers start off this episode hunting our group in the woods. It picks up right where it left off in Season 11, Episode 2. I have to say it's a little dark at times, being in the woods and the mall and a couple of different spots, and I was okay with it. I know some people have talked about it being too dark, but we see that our group is being hunted. We lose a lot of people in this episode. Most of the people connected with Maggie, which we kind of thought would happen. Duncan, Alden, we're not sure. Agatha, so Duncan, Agatha, and Alden all in this photo right here. They all get injured and or die. I'm not sure what happens with Alden. It's left open at the end of the episode. He gets left in the church by Negan and Maggie. Does he survive? We don't know. Father Gabriel gets slashed in the neck, but he seems to be okay. We see the knife wounds and he's bleeding, but we see that the Reapers are definitely a formidable group. They are going to take down our group. Part of it, probably the people that are supposed to go, the red shirts, but we see Father Gabriel gets injured. This is all we see of Daryl in the episode. This brief 2-3 second clip, and next week we'll see more of him. We see the Reapers are really going after our group. We see Elijah gets taken away or captured, at least. I think he's coming back around. We didn't see him die. If you don't see them die, they're still much alive. The Reapers is the same guy going after, or girl, going after Maggie in the mall, I believe, same mask at least. Then we see Magna at Alexandria with her bow and arrow. And I guess there's vultures in the air because you hear them. They sound like velociraptors. A couple things with the music and the sounds. It sounds like there's vultures or hawks circling for their prey. Also, the Predator theme kind of comes back around. I know it's not the same music when the Reapers are there. And also, it sounds like The Last of Us a little bit with the same kind of melody from time to time. Kelly and Carol are out, most likely looking for Connie, and I would assume that Carol feels bad that Connie hasn't come back. They come back to Alexandria, and they really highlight Magna more in this episode than I would say any other episode, which was fine by me because we do want to know what happened with her and Connie. How is it going to be a part of Kelly? Because this is Magna's group. Yumiko's gone. Luke is nowhere to be seen. I don't think we're going to see Luke at all in the first 8 episodes. There was word that he did not film because of another project or COVID or something, but I don't think we'll see him. Carol comes back around and we see Aaron with one arm. He's probably the worst person to hold onto a rope and pull up the supports or repair the wall. It just doesn't make sense. Where's Jerry at? But Carol goes back into the pantry. She's living in this pantry. So many times she's there and she's talking about food. They really went through all these MREs so quickly. I guess I don't know how much time has passed, maybe a couple of days, but ultimately we're out and about and they come across Rosita, who's trying to get mushrooms. And I don't know about you, but I'd be picking the wrong mushrooms, so I would just stay away from that. And Carol even makes a joke about that. Carol, Kelly, Magna are there to get horses, and they come across the horses. And I have to say, when Carol takes out the horse, it was sad. I mean, I was fighting back the tears. I know it's not a real horse, and when it was happening, but it was terrible. And I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive. When you're hungry, a horse can feed all those people for a long time, I'm guessing, right? If they ration it out and they preserve it. Would you be able to preserve the food, though, after the meat is cut off? What do you do with it? They don't really have refrigeration, but you just cover it with salt. I don't know, like back in the day. But they come across the horses, and it was kind of cool that they really tamed the horses, and they're clearly acting horses. Obviously, right? Duh. But would the horses be caught so easily? I don't know. They build their trust up, and then Carol felt bad about doing what she had to do to take out the horse. And I felt bad for her, and I felt bad watching it. The whole thing with Magna and Carol, I'm glad Carol was like at the end of it, like, come on, Kelly, let's get out of here. When Magna said, stop giving her hope, stop doing this. You really think Carol's going to listen to you? And it was like, nah, I'm going to do what I want to do. The whole kid stuff was cute. It was definitely good to build up for the next couple episodes. And did you catch when Judith said, she always comes back? So could Michonne come back? I hope so. Or will Judith reunite with Michonne in the movies or some sort of spinoff? I really hope so, as they should be the future of the show. Ultimately, we go to a mall with Maggie, and there's certain things in a zombie apocalypse, like the mall. I just see when you see a zombie apocalypse story, you have to have some sort of connection with the mall. At least, I do from the past. But ultimately, Maggie goes to a mall. Alden is there. Negan is there. And it's one of those things where, why didn't they come here way earlier, way sooner? I guess the story or the location couldn't be there. But there'd be malls, abandoned malls all over the place in a zombie apocalypse. It just makes sense that you would go there for supplies, food, bedding, whatever. They would have all these different type of stores, even though this spot here is pretty empty. The mannequin thing reminds me of Negan back in season 9, I believe. But then we see Maggie takes out a Reaper, and before that, a Walker. I don't know where that Walker came from, but the Reaper, I believe, is the same one because of the mask from the woods. But she kicks it down the steps, and that Walker's got to be gone. But there were so many Reapers in this mall. Alden gets injured and stabbed a bunch of times by a Reaper, and it's kind of cool to see the Negan-Maggie angle where they meet each other. And Maggie's like, well, help me then. Negan's like, I'm on your side. The trust has to be built and built and built, and I think they're doing a good job with it. Maggie loves throwing a knife, and she's got great accuracy, but what do you think is going to happen with Alden? We still don't know. We know that Negan has saved Maggie, and Maggie has saved Negan, and they work together, and it's one of those things going forward, they're going to have to count on each other, and they do. The whole thing with Father Gabriel and the ice pick and the Reaper was good part of the story, good part of the episode. It was very small compared to the whole Maggie, Negan stuff and Alden, but I just kind of wish Father Gabriel interrogated the Reaper, like got some information from him. The Reaper was clearly injured and he was going to die, and all I see is the Purge mask right here. But Father Gabriel talking to this Reaper, it wasn't Cole, by the way. Some people thought it was Cole. Cole had his neck cut and he was killed, at the beginning of the episode. So we lost a lot of Maggie's group, but ultimately Father Gabriel and the ice pick in the thigh would have been tough to really pull it out of your thigh, and I'm sure it would have hit an artery, but it's fictional, so we roll with it. Father Gabriel was definitely turning a new leaf, or whatever you want to call it. He's changed because he had to do what he had to do to take this guy out. But it shows that Father Gabriel is not believing in God anymore. Is that what you got out of it? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with Father Gabriel and the Commonwealth later this season. The whole Maggie Negan stuff was the bulk of the episode, which I was fine with. I wasn't bored with it. Some people would be like, man, enough of this already. But it was entertaining. It was exciting. We didn't know what was going to happen. These Reapers were coming out of nowhere, in the mall, in the woods, all over the place. But the fact that Alden was injured and they were working together to try to save him. And I'm really glad that Alden talked about the Saviors and Negan and why he switched sides. We got to see this part when he killed this Walker. And so it was definitely in the trailer that we were waiting for, but he was fighting and killing walkers to the very end, unlike Gage, who took himself out. I'm going to be like Alden, trying to take out walkers to my very last breath. We finally know who got bit. It was Agatha all along. If you don't know who Agatha is, well, hopefully you do because you saw the episode, but it's the person that's with Maggie, or was with Maggie at the Meridian. So we kind of thought she would lose a lot of her people, and she did by the third episode, but Maggie tries to go in and save her, and we all thought it was connected with somebody in Maggie's group. A lot of people thought Cole, a lot of people thought even Herschel, but Negan pulled her away while Agatha gets swarmed. And yet again, we get another person sworn by walkers. Recently, it's been mostly women. So ultimately, we'll see what happens with Maggie and Negan going forward, because they hit the road together and they're going to hopefully get the supplies and go back to Alexandria. But Maggie's group we met in season 10, episode 17, and season 11, episode 1. So we'll just go with season 11, episode 1. You got Agatha, Cole, Duncan, and Frost. So we know that Agatha, Cole, and Duncan all died. But what about Frost? He should still be out there somewhere. So because we didn't see him at all in season 11, episode 3, and if you don't see them die, they should still be alive. But as for Elijah, he was like netted up or roped up, and then he gets pulled away, and then Maggie picks up his weapon and throws it at the Reaper. Plus, Elijah's name is in an episode later on in the first part of season 11 in the synopsis, so I'm not sure what to make of this. It was clearly Judas written on the piece of wood, but how is the walker still alive? The bones, tendons were charred from the fire, so they were burned alive. So was it like a Salem witch trial burning? I'm not sure what to make of this, but it was a traitor, so they burned this person alive. So I'm not sure if this was the Reapers or something else, but is this foreshadowing for a future episode, possibly with the Reapers and Daryl? Who knows? But then we see Negan take out a walker and the brains and blood on the crowbar, and this is not the shot of Alden being left at the church, this is in the mall, but they leave Alden at a church, and Alden is very much alive. So could he be saved by Father Gabriel, Frost, other people? I hope so, because Alden is kind of the moral compass, but we'll have to see what happens later on this season. And if you saw the trailer for season 11 episode 4, you know that we're going to see Daryl, Dog, the person in the red mask I'm going with is Leah, and Pope. And Pope actually talks, and he has an accent, so I'm going with it's South African. If you know this channel, you know our theories and what people we talked about here, and if you want to find out more, check out the video with this thumbnail on our channel to find out how we break it down for you, what makes sense. And I believe we're getting more and more stuff right for season 11 so far, but who knows how it goes down. Can't wait to find out. But that's my review, recap, breakdown of season 11 episode 3. Overall, it's another good episode. All 3 episodes so far of season 11 of The Walking Dead have been very entertaining and good, setting things up, answering some questions, asking some questions, and seeing where we go from there is always a good thing. But are you enjoying the episode so far? I guess if you don't like Negan, you probably don't like the episodes, because you're like, there's a lot of Negan and Maggie. So what if you don't like Negan and Maggie? You're like, this season sucks so far. But overall, I'm enjoying it. And let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Help support the PT channel any way that you can. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yeah, we love